Well, welcome in, everybody. What a rough game. What a rough game. Let's hear what the boys have to say.
Brutal. Dude, I'm in shambles right now. I'm not gonna lie, mostly because I cooked a 4-leg parlay with my buddy, and Blackhawk's money line was the last one, and I just got screwed out of $100. But we said it on the show. I thought that was one we could win. We needed to get that super important insurance go-ahead goal in the third, and we couldn't find it. And I really think that's what lost it. We can get into some other stuff, but dude, you got to put away your chances in the third period when you have a lead like that. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It's funny. I was thinking the same thing watching this game in the third period. I'm like, we got to get the next goal here because, if we tie this game up, I think we're doomed, right? They had all the momentum going to that overtime, right? Got most of the chances. I don't want to see any blames out of them, too. I know he had a rough shootout there, 0 for 3, but he had such a good game regulation, overtime as well. So, and I think he had a great game. So, I'm out with this team at all. But just the Hawks, it's like he had a good first 40 minutes there. They outshot the Thunder at the first period. I mean, the Reds have 3 power plays. We still outshot them. Good second period as well. Leading this game going in the third, and we just sit back. How much time has it happened to this team? 1-goal lead, you cannot afford to sit back. And they were trying to coast to this win, and just be clear on what's going to happen. So, another narrow edge, which we've come used to this season. But on the bright side, at least we got a Benzie goal. He's been cooking lately. He really has. I think points 11 of his last 12 games. I thought that first line, if there's a main takeaway from this game, that first line of Bedard, Bertuzzi, Nazar, absolute cinema, absolutely fantastic. I know Nazar didn't have any production, but he had 5 shots tonight. Looked great.
Dude, he was everywhere.
Yeah, Benzie was finding guys left and right. Some of the passes he was making out were unbelievable. And Bertuzzi had that connection like that's been cinema. So that's good. That's a positive. Other than that, it's just frustrating not to bear down and come away with this one.
Yeah, I really do think that if it weren't for that bet that I lost, that I would be like completely okay right now because of how good that first line looked. I mean, Bedsy had a great game. Nazar was everywhere. That was Nazar's best game in the league by far. By far.
I agree.
Obviously didn't have anything to show for it. I mean, he was a +2 in a game that they lost, so that's something. But oh my gosh, he was everywhere. His tenacity on the forecheck is disgusting. He's so gross along the walls. He's so good with his stick. I'm so impressed with how good he is without the puck and like defensively. Dude, Bertuzzi might finish this season with 50 goals playing with these two fucking guys for the rest of the year.
He's probably going to lead the team in goals because he just gets so much apples, fed to him on a spoon from Bedsy, right? So, we're not shocked at all. Bedsy, man, it's like he's getting so many assists already. Can you imagine how much assists he's going to get when he has actual all-star line mates in the future? Like he's doing this with Tyler Bertuzzi, no disrespect. He's a fine player, but not even close to the same level as him. So, and Nazar's young, he's figuring it out. So, as he progresses in this league, he's going to start varying those looks, right? It's going to happen eventually. It just takes time. Right now he's all Swedish, no finish, unfortunately. A lot like Lucas Reichel, but they'll come. I think he looks good, playing the right way, and he'll eventually get rewarded for that. Yeah.
Bertuzzi had a couple of opportunities in that third period that he did not convert on, and I was so pissed. Like,
there's that tic-tac-toe play of Betsy Nazar than him.
And then there was that one, and then there was also the wide open breakaway that he had that he tried to do like the Michael Frolik against the Red Wings in like 2013.
You're not that guy, Tom.
Who does he think he is trying to go forehand, backhand, beat him glove side on a clean breakaway?
Has he ever scored a goal like that?
Ever in his life?
No, he's not.
I haven't seen him score a goal this year where he's not on one knee in the crease.
What is he standing in front of the goal? From like Betsy is the exact kind of so. Also Nazar had a break today too this game. I think it was a short-handed puck, and Hall buries that man, but. A lot of ifs in this game, but they got their looks, they got their chances, but just couldn't bear down here. Saros had a strong game for them. There was definitely a goaltending battle tonight, and he definitely won the show there.
Yeah, and back to your point about Soderblom, was that his first ever shootout though?
No, it's funny. I recall a shootout last year against the Predators. We also went 3. So
Okay.
maybe just the parameters of shooting is just his kryptonite. But yeah, and then he definitely looked a little out of place. Also, he had a lot more work to do in overtime. I think maybe he's a little more exhausted compared to Stars against a shootout, but still. Someone's been around this league for a while, so I think experience is definitely key in those situations. But again, I don't blame soccer. He had such an insane game. I think that shootout. Hopefully, fans don't look at that. Let that overshadow tonight, because otherwise, I thought he was fantastic, and I think he should be this team's starter. He's just been so much more consistent compared to the rest.
I going into the shootout, I was like, oh, this guy's hot right now. Like I felt so confident because I was like, Soderblom is so locked in right now. That's what I thought. I don't think it was because he's tired. I think some goalies, I mean, it was kind of like, remember Robin Leonard? Like that guy just couldn't do anything to shoot out. Like you could have put me out there. What?
Swedish goaltenders. Robin Leonard was Swedish too. So maybe it's these Swedish goaltenders have a hard time shooting it out. Someone's a finish, so he's got that finish in his game. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, I mean, that's tough. It's tough because that's probably going to overshadow his performance. I think it's a shame.
But it shouldn't, because he was disgusting, and he kept us in that game. We should have lost. We should have lost in the end of the third period, and then we definitely should have lost in overtime if it weren't for him. His glove hand was so locked in. He was snatching everything. He looked so good. The equalizing goal, the Forsberg slapper, like I don't think that was a howitzer. That was a perfectly placed shot. Like I don't know how you're gonna get a piece of that. Like, but on that goal, what happened there? Was that just an atrocious?
I think it's just a bad change.
A horrible change. So like how? There's 2 minutes left in the game. Like
you can't let that happen.
You can't let a mistake like that happen, because that just costed them the game. And I guess, for the tank, it's better that we get 1 point instead of 2 points. But it's like
at that point, though, it's like once you get to overtime in those situations, I could care less about the tank. You may as well. You've already got 8
just get the extra
both, right? Yeah. Finish the deal. I think this team needed a morale W. I was hoping to get it for the dads, right? I thought otherwise they had a strong. 4 to 6 minutes out there, fantastic. Well, I guess it was longer than 6 minutes. You get me. Also, man, in overtime, there was an opportunity. Bedsy could have had a freaking breakaway, dude. Puck bounced over glass stick, and I was like, damn it, that would have been the one. Would have been the one, but I didn't know finishing. There was also one where I felt like we could have gone the other way, but then Martinez missed somebody horribly with a pass and iced the puck, and I was screaming because I thought that was going to be our opportunity. So I feel like there were a few of those situations where we just, like, our defensemen weren't able to get the puck up the ice effectively, and it screwed us, man. I just, like, I don't know why I'm so bitter about that one. I think that could have been maybe the most exciting game of the season. Like, I know we lost, but dude, I just, like, I wanted Nazar and Bedsy to be rewarded for how good they played, and it stinks. And how do you feel about Bedsy? I felt like Bedsy played half that overtime. I thought he was out there for like 3 minutes, it felt like. I was hoping he finished the deal right. I think he had some opportunities there. He also had that one look where he went took pretty much all 3 Preds on at once, almost got to the goal, but wasn't able to get a shot off there. I like that though. Like, you might as well get Bedsy as much time as possible in situations, right? He could have had a few more looks there, but unfortunately, just didn't materialize. It's ice time. I'm curious what the box score, because like he was double shifted a lot tonight. But I thought, if you're cooking a flyer, may as well keep him out, right? I thought he and Nazar, man, 24 minutes for Benson today, 24-40. But yeah, with that connection with him and Frank's gonna be so good. You've already seen it look so good today. I think once they start bearing those looks and chances, it's gonna be great. I've heard some complaints about my sound too. Do I sound okay to you? Because I'm getting complaints about sound.
Yeah, you sound okay. You're just quiet. Is chat like?
No, chat's not even really messaging about it.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's fine enough. This is a very temporary circumstance, chat. So it's Robo Man. Yeah, so you guys are just gonna have to rock with Robo Man tonight, and we'll get through it. Yeah, no, but back to. Chat was like kind of looking for people to blame a little bit. Look, I'm not going to you can't blame Bedard for that game. You can't blame Soderblom for that game. They both played so well. This team.
Blaming Bedard? Are you serious?
People just said, some people said that like Bedard choked or
Bedard, come on. That's bullshit, man. He had an
I know.
insane game. And I said because he didn't score in the shootout. I think the first miss he's had in the shootout in his career, by the way. He hasn't been in many. Also, the Hawks haven't been in many overtime, extra time games this season. I mean, this is the first one I've had since the Kings game in November. I want to say this. Actually, there was a one against the Wild, too. This back on only their third game in regulation, right? I want to say it is.
You might be right. There hasn't been many, but dude, this team is not built. This is a horrible overtime and shootout team. Like it's this team is just inexperienced young players and old guys. That's like the worst mix for overtime.
No, like middle age, like 26, 29 prime guys.
We have none of them. And also I was
yeah.
thinking something I did think during that overtime was like the couple shifts that Nick Foligno was out there. I was like, get this guy off.
What's he doing? Like, that's not a guy overtime's too slow. I want to correct myself before. The Hawks have lost 3 games in overtime shootout, but they did win that one against the Wild. Philip Khrushchev's only contribution the entire season, that win. So they've got 4 games.
Yeah, so
it's not many in 45 games.
So not much experience, but yeah, when Foligno was out there, I'm like, look, I love Foligno, great captain, great guy, good at the face-off dot, good penalty killer. Don't have that guy out there for 3-on-3. All right, this is a young man's game. No shade at all. He's just not fast enough to play overtime. He can't be out there.
Sometimes you start him out there so he can win the face on good possession and get him off the ice. Like, that's cool when you do that, but like that's something you do like to start overtime, not when you're in your own D zone. Something even lose the face off and he's hemmed in there.
Even that, like, I don't want to see because he just is gonna end up getting stuck out there, and that's really how it felt when he was out there. I'm like, oh, he's stuck because he can't get off. Yeah, dude, Soderblom played so well in that overtime. We should have gotten scored on like 4 times. I was sweating that entire overtime period. We were just getting dominated, and he literally got us there. I was so prepared to come on the show and say Arvid Soderblom could save the fucking Titanic, but then obviously the shootout was not.
Shootout happened. Yeah, recency bias, right? But I mean, otherwise, maybe one of his best games of the season. Just shows the turnaround he's had this year has been impressive.
How'd you feel about? I thought Reichel and
that's a good line too. Actually,
and Doc played well.
I thought they were in the top 6, but it's actually they were technically the third line up. They were at the table. Mikhail line was the second, but I thought Doc had some looks tonight. He looked good. I thought he was close to that first goal a few times. It's coming. He's knocking on the door. I hopefully can still get it. This dad trip, I imagine, extends to the next game in Vegas too. I'm tripping on that too. It's multiple games, but I thought he looked pretty good there. Reichel as well. I mean, as usual, all Swedish no from this one. Thought he had a strong game. I'd like to see him get a little more ice time. And that should be the second line. I think. I mean, the way that table's been cooking, they understand why they're the second line and not them. But
how did you feel? How did you feel about the Nick Foligno callback goal, goaltender interference call?
Well, that was bullshit. I mean, goal interference is like the most subjective call in hockey, dude. It's like I look at that. I mean, he did lose a stick almost, but it's like Steven shoved Foligno into him. So it's not like Foligno caused that. Reichel, maybe there's a little bit of contact. I didn't really see much there. I thought it was weak. I thought it was soft. I thought that was a good goal. And, if that counts, the Bucks win the game in regulation. They didn't.
I think the NHL's been like trying to be consistent with the goaltender interference, where like their whole, I think their prerogative is like, if you're in the crease and you make contact with the goalie, they're calling it. But I think it's so bullshit because that one, like, he was trying to get out of the crease and then got shoved by one of the guys on Nashville. Into Saros, and that's where the contact happened. It wasn't him skating into him on his own. He got shoved into him. Like what?
I thought more like the double IHF. They were always crazy about you can't be in the crease and that stuff. But I don't know. I thought, like you said, he was shoving into him. So I thought the refs in general. I mean, I hate to blame. So like losses and be like, oh, it was us. Like they had so much. They had 4 power plays tonight. We have 1. I thought some of those were kind of like, I don't know about that. I thought we could have had more than 1 as well. So that was a little frustrating too. So yeah, that's another topic.
Yeah, it pisses me off. I wanted to talk a little bit about Louis Crevier. I thought him and Vlasic were a -1 tonight, so I mean that's bad for their standards. And he was the defenseman on that Forsberg equalizer that he was like kind of the last guy out, but that wasn't really his fault. I thought they had some unbelievable plays in the first period on the penalty kills early. Crevier had this one play. It went to the corner. Vlasic was on the guy, and for some reason, Crevier made the decision to go help, and it was such a good play. He was able to win the puck and get it out. And I was like, dude, this guy is awesome. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Big Louis Crevier.
I think he's intriguing, right? If he can become something of that size, 6'8", people like watch out there. I don't know if I'm as sold as you, but he's turning on me. I'm starting to see the vision of why he's still up here. I think he's been playing better hockey than I think. Ian Vlasic, I think that just shows up. Defensemen tend to play the best hockey. If you're Jones last year's game was way better. What pair of last we haven't seen them together much this season. I think it showed. So.
Yeah, I think Vlasic and Crevier have been our best defense pairing. For a minute now. And dude, also just like on the penalty kill, they cover so much distance on the ice because of how fucking long their sticks and reaches
that's
are.
A great asset. McCann is so good at PK too. That plays him. He countered probably speed, pretty effective. I don't know Martinez that second goal. I was pretty lucky. The Hawks will do for some goals like that. They've had plenty of like lucky bounces against them. Like looking at these games against something like that. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was and also it was just like that line was just rolling, that first line. But we're due for a good bounce, especially after they call back that the Foligno goal.
Yeah.
We deserve that.
Mr. Bertuzzi, he's been playing so much better lately. It's been a while now. He's playing better, but after that slow start, like that signing's looking a lot better now. I like the connection he's got up there with Bedard. I think he complements those young guys well. Ian Nazer, don't touch that first line. Keep them rolling. I think you can roll that line and like we got some.
They had let me see how many shots we had tonight because they had 14 shots.
We had 26 shots. They had 41.
Yeah. So that line alone.
Oh, the line.
The Bedsy, Nazer, Bertuzzi line accounted for over half of our shots. Dude,
I'm not surprised by that at all.
I hated that when that whole third period we were up 1 goal. I hated how we just turtled back the whole time and just tried to play defense.
That was
except for that Bedard line. Except for the Bedard line. They were pressing every single time they were on the ice. They were making something happen. They were creating a chance. They weren't able to score. Fucking Bertuzzi, dude. I swear to God.
He could just finish.
If Bertuzzi just finished one of those chances, we would be like, holy shit, Bertuzzi, but just, you gotta put those chances away. But yeah, I want to hear what your thoughts are on it. But like every time the fourth line, the Hall, Donato, Maroon line was out there, I was just sweating my ass off because they were just hemmed in their own zone. I'm like, can we just play the Bedard line every other shift?
Yeah, as much as you play them, I think most could play the whole four. They were cooking with fire. It's like that fourth line, like you said, they're just hemmed in there every time. That's a Pat Maroon effect. They don't bring any line down to the speed. I feel like every time he was out there, and stuff. So I do like them tilt though. Yeah, I thought set the tone a little bit earlier in the game when they went up 1-0. They're cursing the Stammer OV power play goal. So I thought that was nice from Maroon. Otherwise, they didn't really have much to say about in this game. But yeah, that was definitely frustrating to your point.
People in chat are asking us to do ref talk. I mean, we kind of
already did.
We kind of did a little ref talk. My whole thing is like, I understand that. I feel like the league goal right now amongst refs is to be consistent.
As much power plays as possible.
Well, no, but they're trying to be consistent. They're trying to consistently call the same things over and over again, and it's like consistency's fine. But if you're making bad calls that are just like dumb just to try to be consistent, it's like, what's the point of the referee? Like, let's just scratch the idea of a referee and just give each team 3 power plays and just call it a day. Because it's what's the point?
They're trying to be consistent. In turn, they haven't been consistent at all, right? Because a lot of these calls are just so subjective. They're not black and white. So it's like, what even is goal interference anymore? Do we even have a definite?
No, we don't know.
I don't think we do. Nobody knows. So that's frustrating.
Turns out Turns out if you're out on the ice, somebody on the other team can take their stick, bash you in the face with it, knock you out, bring you to their goal, shove you into the goaltender, and then they're going to call you for goaltender interference. Just in case anybody was wondering in chat, that's what gets called as far as goaltender interference goes.
That sounds about right. I mean, on the plus side, though, I mean, we as you mentioned earlier, we did win the tank ball tonight. I mean, we almost lost it, but we did come away with it there at the end of the shootout. It's funny. We get a little bit of a buffer now, right? Because like the Preds have 37 points, Sharks have 34. They're really the only team close to us. I mean, the Sabres have 39, so it's like the Hawks. I mean, I don't know, man. It's looking like top five is pretty much guaranteed at this point. So, which is I think a good thing, but at the same time, we really need to rattle off some more LWs here soon. Like this, I think 4-game losing streak now. So hopefully we can end the dance trip Saturday. With Dump playing the Gauntlet. I don't know about that at Vegas. That's going to be tricky.
Yeah, I agree with you though. Like I feel like a top 5 pick is basically wrapped up and ready to go.
You finished last year, guaranteed that top 3.
Yeah, and then I think all the way to I think if you finish 3rd, I think maybe the lowest you can pick is 6th or something. It might be 5th. It's either 5th or 6th, but look, we're not gonna finish above 3rd from the bottom. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean we're pretty much guaranteed to get one of those players we want this rank, so that's a good sign.
Dude, these are games tonight are it was an effort night, especially from our young guys. Like literally all of them. As we just said, I thought Reichel played well. I thought Doc played well. I thought Nazer, obviously, best game I've ever seen him play. That game got me pumped for the future.
He looked like he did a rock, just the confidence he's playing with. He had a little interview with Panger in the intermission. You can just see it. This kid's got confidence. He's got swagger. He's got that aura. I think that's the mentality you need to succeed in the NHL. I think he's gonna be.
He's gonna be an assassin in this league. He's going to be an assassin, but it's just these are the ones you want to win, the games that are close and high effort to blow the lead with, a couple minutes left and then lose in a shootout. It just stings. Those are the little moral victories that we can afford in our tank process along is for the rest of the year. Right.
Our initial 5-game segment's off to a good start here. 1-3-1. So there you go from that. That's the way that goes. And also the Hawks, 1 road win since November 3rd. I think that was against the Rangers at MSG, if I remember correctly, that December. I think that was that was his first win in his second game. That's the only road game we've won in the last 2 months. Plus, the same deal as last year, we could never win on the road. It's the same situations. But here's the stat. Did you see the stat that showed
Bedard's home and away points?
That's his home and away points.
I knew you were gonna love that one.
Insane. Oh yeah, you knew I was going to bring that up. I mean, obviously it changed now. He's 1 point on the road, although that's 3 more games. 58 versus 55. 17, 33, 50, 155 shots. They're all identical. That's unreal.
That was such. I went on the.
That's an ESPN stat, but.
Did you see my tweet?
Yeah. It's sad for that too, though, because this team's been so much worse on the road versus at home. His standard here is Blackhawk, so the fact that he's producing the same rate, I do think that says something. I don't know, maybe I'm reaching for
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. You'd maybe rather your guy be a little more productive at home, probably, but
well, to be fair, his points per game is better at home. This is a 3 difference there. He's
yeah. To be fair, you don't want it to be lopsided either way,
Yeah, no, yeah. It just shows that he's going to be the same player no matter what arena he's playing in, which some players it's not. So, yeah, that's a good stuff.
How'd you feel about Seth Jones tonight? 1 assist. He was a +2.
I mean, he was better. For his team. I still don't think he was really that good. They did bail out Bedard a couple times. I think one of those power plays, he just threw a puck out in the middle, and he was kind of the back check there for him. But then he had a few bad turnovers.
Yeah, but that play
that bad change too at the end.
I didn't think that one you just referenced where Bedard kind of screwed him a little bit. I think that was just as much on Seth Jones as it was on
positioning.
Because Jones threw him the awful pass first, and then Bedard basically tried to make the exact same pass back to him, and it didn't work. But
I expected because he made that.
I also felt like Jones in overtime was just when he was trying to.
guy. It's like, what are you doing,
I'm
man?
like,
You are not that guy. Like,
I'm
just
I
like
have
that.
I have the Colorado Edmonton game on right now, and it's like you're not McKinnon, OG. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, just pull it back. Like, let's get somebody else on the ice to carry this puck in the offensive zone. We don't need Seth Jones trying to stick handle past three
Was
guys.
out there so much in overtime too, which actually, if you look at Jones' track of overtimes in 3-3, I think he's actually like amongst the defensive for most overtime. So I understand why they play a lot of those situations, but he was looking in that 3-3 at all for sure.
That is
His play lately.
It is though. It is like the situation where you're gonna play him. Like he's probably one of, if not the most mobile defensemen we have. And he's
Offensive
obviously more
instincts. Yeah.
offensively minded.
Gets up in the rush. Yeah, I mean, what other defensive on this team are you really going to play? I think Lasseter's emerging from that aspect. Like, there's like nobody else on this team I really feel comfortable for.
Yeah, it would have been. Martinez was out there.
He was up there, but he's not. So.
Yeah, Korchinski would be an awesome guy to have for overtime, but not like this team should be playing for overtime. Like he should.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to give a guy a spot because you're like, oh, just in case we get to 3-on-3, he's our guy.
Yeah, this is definitely a game we should have bared down a couple ways for regulation. So it's frustrating to lose that extra time. I think we're 1-3 in past 60. So yeah, as you said, not really a team built for those situations.
Frank Nazar had 6 shots tonight, dude.
6? That's like 5, even more than I thought. Jeez, he was so good, man. It's just frustrates me to get any production. He deserves something.
He was creating so many turnovers. He was just hounding guys. And it was like, that was kind of the concern I had. The only concern I had about this line going into the game was just like, who's going to be the primary puck retriever? And it's like, oh, okay, it's going to be Frank Nazar. This kid's a fucking dog.
He's a more complete player. It's like, yeah, he plays bigger than he is. Right? And he's better on both sides of the puck. Like, he's a responsible defensive player. Like, they're a couple putting him out there in the PK. 20-year-old, but that says something there. He's effective in that role. Almost had a shorty tonight. Actually, have one shorty this season. Pick from time. That's it. As good as that PK's been, which it was. I know they gave the power. Other than that, it was good. But yeah, man, it's a good sign for a young player, right?
Sure. I think he's I think him and Bedard are going to be so good together. And do not fuck with that line. If that line gets changed, I want to see that line for the rest of the year. Maybe if you want to eventually switch Bertuzzi out for someone else, play Nazar and Bedsy together. Like, those are our star boys. Those are the young kids that are cooking. They looked so good together. I'm so pumped. I am so pumped about what Frank Nazar can be.
And it's nice because I think if Nazar really emerges, like, you can play him at center and move Bedsy to the wing. Which I still think, like, I know he's getting better at the face-offs. His defensive game's been better compared to last season, but I still think Bedard, he can very well be the 1C, and he could develop into that. But I kind of still think he's more of a king, more of a natural winger at his heart. So I think of Nazar, like, he's a very responsible two-way player. Like, if he's done around draws and stuff like that, like, you could almost have him be a 1C Benson's wing. Am I crazy for saying that? Oh, just a thought.
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think that some of this stuff will get better for Bedard, though, once he has these consistent line mates. Like, if they can look like this every single night, we're not going to be talking about Bedsy's two-way game as much because they're not going to be in their defensive zone as much. Like, we had more shots tonight than we have had in the past few games because that line alone had so much more ozone time than we've been used to. So, like, I think that other stuff will kind of come along with having success on the same line and having, a couple guys that are willing to help you out defensively. And I think Frank Nazar's significantly more willing to throw his body around than Bedard, because they're I feel like they're the same size. They seem like the same size. They're both just little.
Actually smaller than him a little bit.
You might be right. You might be right.
My dad was watching with me. He kept saying Betsy, and it was Nazar, but 90s, right? Similar frames. So
they look
nice together. It's
they look so similar because they play a kind of a similar style. And their
shots are kind of like
Nazar's got a little bit of that toe drag release, but yeah, Nazar's just like they're just like two little munchkins, but Nazar's just like willing to battle with anybody, which is he's gonna, if you want to have a spot in this league, you got to be willing to do that stuff.
Oh, for sure. Get in the dirty areas, get in the trenches, as you would say, for sure.
Yeah.
Apologize, my voice has been off. I'm dealing with yet another cold. So, but just as I got out of the old one, a new one emerges. So that's everything's going smoothly in my end. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we can't. In Tassos, I think that's why he's not here, is because he's not really feeling the best right now. So he's getting some
Serious?
sleep.
He's sick again too.
Yeah,
What is going on? What?
but I mean, I guess I should do a little bit of housekeeping before we get out of here. Shout
Patrick
out.
Kane scored tonight too.
What's that?
Patrick Kane scored tonight too.
Yeah, he did.
And anything but Darwin and Cannon score on the same day, that's a good day for me. Anyway, get back to your.
No, he had an absolute snipe. We'll talk about that on the show tomorrow. We got a show tomorrow morning for you guys. We're gonna rest up and hopefully be a little bit more recovered tomorrow. But thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys so much. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Follow and give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter. Join the Discord. We are everywhere. Dude, we are literally everywhere. We have fucking every single social media. My phone is always going crazy because like Tassos will just be going ham on the Instagram during the day. He's been on the grind, just commenting. Yeah. And so I'll just be getting likes and I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, Tassos is cooking right now. So
that's smart thought process. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And it's good to like have us like multiple of us being logged into it so that like everybody can be cracking stuff out. But every like, every share, every follow like means a lot to us and helps us get to closer to where we want to be, which is being able to do this full time. So we appreciate you all. Justin, did you have anything else to say? I think.
I don't think really talk to this too much with the Preds, man. They keep owning us. I think they showed a stat at broadcast. They won their last 5. Now it's 6. Now I think they're 1-9-2 their last 12 against them. So it doesn't matter how shitty that team is. They will keep owning us. They have since 2017. But anyway, we move on. We move to Vegas Saturday. Got a show tomorrow. We'll be there.
Sounds good. Peace out, guys.